Alfheim for BrT as Loki, Passamal for BrT as Loki again, and Ivano Grande as Loki. So it's a triple Loki, which is pretty interesting. And against them we have Magic together with Themista as double Zeus, complemented by Titu, who is pretty good with Oranos. So game number 1 on Oasis starting, and this is, if I remember correctly, pretty much at least first in a very long time that the Mista together with Magic play in one game. So the first to have a look at is Titu as the red, and he's spawned in a pretty nice corner here. He's already seen some extra hunts, and that might be just a bit complemented by some extras in there. Otherwise just some chickens, and well, so far pretty decent woodline. That sometimes happens on Oasis, that you have a problem with woodline, but no problem here for Titu. And well, nice zebras at the top here. Okay, so he's going for the bottom where he has seen the hunt, and unfortunately for Tito it's just the lone gazelle. Well, that sucks a lot, so that will be a bit of a walk-in time into the zebras, but second wheelie is going right there, so it won't be all that bad for him. So the next to have a look at is Themistocles, and he's playing Pocket as a Zeus, so I think we can expect some faster mythic from him, and he's already gathering from his start in zebras. And something interesting else, oh yeah, just now discovering with his scout where the giraffes together with extra gazelles are, and also a pretty nice gold position. Other than that, chickens in his base, and woodline seems to be reasonably okay as well. Looking at his TCs, this is his back, and this one is his front, and seems to be reasonably safe. And looking at how the middle looks, it seems like it will be one big Oasis. Yeah, pretty sure. Thank you, Passamas Ulfsark, for telling us that. And that results in a pretty much divided game, where I Am Magic will probably fight more or less 1 versus 1 with Ivano Grande. And well, Temista will have all the time in the world to go for his faster mythic. I wouldn't really discount that possibility. So he's now right now going for villagers. And well, let's have a look at the Magic's map. Some nice berries here, although he would prefer some hunt, so let's have a look somewhere else. Oh yeah, something like this, so that's pretty much similar to what Temista had, and well, that's going to be a pretty nice start for him when he finishes with his extra zebras. And you can see that Alfheim from BrT are already talking about some Contariuses, and here we have some nice relic. 10% villager gold get rate, and actually Alfheim was just telling this to everybody, and iMagic is just a cool guy and letting his opponents know what's going on. Not really wanted to take advantage of them. Returning to this rally, 10% villager gold get rate is absolutely awesome. It will be absolutely great for an Eggy, but it's really good for anyone, and for Zeus we can expect some Colossi later on in the game when they reach Mythic, and yeah, you need to go right there. Another relic, Hippaspists, and so on and so forth. That's a pretty decent one. And well, right now, Ivano Grande is returning back to his home base after scouting around a bit, and he's having a pretty good lay of the land here. So I'm not really worried about his scouting abilities here. Very nice hunt as well, gathering a lot of gold. And we are nearing 3.5 minutes, so Loki should be thinking about advancing at like 4:30 or sub 5, otherwise this map seems okay. And where is this next hunt? We have seen the one in the front, but is there something maybe closer? Not really, just those lions. They could do, but he will be moving very far ahead, which means that will be a downtime in gathering food. Yeah, especially now with the bit of idle here. And he might just want to choose those chickens because they are slightly closer and will be a bit of... Well, he's not going for them. So he's right now sacrificing his advancing time for a better food source. Alright, let's see if it pays off. Temple being dropped. So he is looking to advance. And the pocket for BrT is Passamal. Already temple up. And his TC is okay as a pocket, and he's going for some standards giraffes and gazelles, which seems to be the theme on this map today. Otherwise, this is pretty interesting, those 1 gold, 2nd gold, 3rd and 4th, so that's pretty safe for them. And 64% for Alfheim here. He will be the first to advance into classical. Yeah, 4:30, that's okay. Right now going for the 2nd temple, that's a bit later than I would think. You should already be having some 2-3 hersters right now. Not even going for them for some decent trading for Loki, but well, let's see how it will play out for him. Gathering Hunt right next to the purple guy. And well, otherwise the map is kind of interesting. Another relic here, villager skills in a single shot, that's not really all that useful here. And what's this? Cheaper armory research costs, that's very useful. You can see that Titu, the Oranos on ReGen's team is already in. Well, and he's definitely not taking any chances, even though ReGen are high favorites or strong favorites on this in this matchup. He's definitely not leaving anything to chance and walling up. And this is, yeah, looking at this small leave here, it means that it's right next to the wall of the map, and he will be very safe here indeed. So pretty nice job here, already having the manor to protect this Phillies from raids, as he's expecting to be sticking here for some time. And well, Alfheim is pretty much doing the same, protecting his Phillies and base all together. So he's right now not really thinking about some brutal aggression, expecting aggression from his opponents. You can see that Temista has built this wall. You might think that it's kind of useless, but it's not at all. It's a strategical advantage. It prevents some brutal raiding. The raids will have to go through if they manage the artists to actually sneak some units in. And it also allows Temista, when he puts a gate in here, to actually run away from his opponents. When your units pass through, enemy cannot, and you can get some free shots with your own. So that's pretty nice. And what he's preparing right now, he's going for some hoplites together with toxots. So it almost seems he's ready to go for some double. That's pretty interesting. Maybe with Titu, not really sure right now. So let's have a look what Magic is doing. He's definitely taking second TC. So he's going for the booby style. And well, at the same time he's under attack. And he chooses to use actually Bolt right now, as he definitely wants to go for some stronger echo and doesn't want to be caught off guard without any army. Right now Jason needs to get it back because he's holding a very important relic for him to make his unit stronger. And well, dropping Military Academy just now. So I'm kind of thinking right now that Temista going for second TC as well might be helping a Magic, but he isn't. He's leaving Magic to actually deal with all the problems by himself, and yes, he's joining on the left, where the first fighting is sprouting up, and well, Themistocles might need to change his mind, because looking at the minimap, you can see the green together with purple are doing some kind of a double on the right side there. So this is a bit of a rating from Alfheim. That's not doing anything at all right now. And here though, that's a pretty decent army. That's quite a lot of Heresiers, and once they engage in some battle, that's going to be a lot of mythical spawns, and that might be a slight problem. Because even though Greek heroes are pretty strong, they are not really all that numerous, and they are not exactly cheap, especially Odysseus for Zeus. So that might be a slight problem if BrT gets slightly lucky here. Otherwise, BrTs looking at the minimap are not really interested in some extra TCs right now, so the economic advantage will definitely be going for the ReGen team and their extra TCs with Themista and Magic. And oh, hello! Hello, Themista. Not paying attention and losing a Willy needlessly, but it's not really anything all that bad. EC is okay, and those Willies are protected very nicely. And what's Magic right now doing about all this? Well, he's just still not dropping the relic here. Having a bit of idles, but that was just a secondary thought. And well, overall seems to be recuperating quite well from the early attack. At the left side, Alfheim is having a pretty decent 1v1 against Titu. Well, and Scout is being cast. That's... I'm not really liking this. It would have been a lot better on the Turmas, because Turmas are thought to survive, especially with a skilled player like Titu, who micros pretty well. And at the same time, Turmas will probably disengage and go for some raiding. So that would be a very valuable info, but on an infantry, that's not really going to go that well. Some green blobs in blue base. Yeah, as you can see, the army is there, so Themista is not being caught unawares, but a lot of purple actually happening here on the right side with Magic. That was actually a pretty smart play from Passamal. That was not some random wall-in. He was actually trying to wall off the gold here and build some base behind it. He was trying to wall off, make some protection layer, and drop some long houses here. to harass Magic from his own base. So that's a pretty gutsy idea to play against one of the best players in the game. But yeah, you have to take chances if you want to win, even against those guys. The second wall layer being built very nicely here, and that one really, without any mythical units at all, should be able to actually repair everything here. But yeah, that's not happening. Interesting stuff is that Ivano Grande is actually taking a 30C, and he's still in Magics. So yeah, that's definitely something Magic did not anticipate, I think. And well, this forward position is pretty strong. So right now it's pretty much up to Alfheim to somehow hold Titu at bay. And well, looking at this army, I'm not exactly sure if he can manage. He has some amount together with towers. He should be okay. But what I'm worried about here, that Titu might actually bypass Alfheim altogether and go full front into the pocket here, like Passamal, who is absolutely without any protection. He's not having any towers, not even researching them, and I would expect something like that from him fully. On the right side, Themistocles is responding to the double, and right now there's a pretty strong double Zeus, and well, what do we have as the god powers? One restoration, one ceasefire. And with the amount of hoplites here, they could take down the TC with restoration very easily, especially with the extra healing from the healing spray. So I wouldn't be really surprised at all if they went for it. And well, armory being dropped, that signals that Passamal is thinking about the heroic age. Alright, and yes, this is definitely going for restoration. Once BrT engage, which they don't, I think that's the clever choice here. Because really, that would be just a restoration cast and the result would be the same. They would just lose everything, but at the same time, you can't really expect that Double Zeus army in Classical is going to lose to Double Loki. Even if they draw enough mythical units, that's not really going to go all that well for them. Here, meanwhile, Alfheim is going for some attempted raiding, deleting the Mother Hearts. But, well, yeah, he wasn't really paying attention right now, it seems. He was maybe engaged with this economy, and, well, yeah, Titu has a lot stronger army, and you can already see that the Spite unit is not there. Which kinda sucks. At the top, inevitable happened. Purple has... it was green actually, was advancing into Heroic. And, well, does he have some good echo for that? I'm actually not thinking so. He has kinda not enough army. And here is actually the spy, so no. He's still not dead, but he was cutting around trying to find some interesting villies here, and here they are. Oh wow. And unfortunately we got into some lagging. There were some connection issues before, but so far it was working fine, so hopefully the fininess will return. And I'm just gonna check in the meantime how's it looking with Passamal to 2Cs, and yes, 20% into Bragi. So he will be in there pretty soon. Yeah, there's some luck, and it's for Themistocles right now, but I wouldn't put it behind Landheim as well. Usually when the luck is there, it's between two players, and the target here might not be all that accurate, but yeah, it could be it. He can't really fix all that much right now. It's just working right now, and we'll see.
Yes.
Anyway, Magic is taking his third, not really interested in getting it stolen again, which is just as prudent, I think. And well, this healing Spring will just remain here as an extra defensive ability for his forward base. Right now, this is pretty strong. And you can see that Jason still hasn't dropped this relic. So it seems like he wants to taunt his enemies with, look what I have here. And yeah, Green should have retreated with those villies much sooner, because right now this will be just a villy slaughter. With a bit of positioning from the Themistocles. Yeah, you can already hear the dwarves dying here. 3, 4 dwarves already dead. Maybe even 5, I'm not exactly sure what kind of dead body that was, but yeah, it was costly. It was costly, and it's not going to get any better with this kind of army. We have some flaming weapons here, but that's not really going to go and do anything at all. Well, for obvious reason, because there's no army whatsoever. So let's have a look at the left side. Well, Alfheim seems to be having a pretty decent 1v1 against T2, even though T2 is right now in heroic, but, well, Alfheim as well. And the only one who isn't right now is Magic. He went into a bit harder boom than his allies and opponents, I think. And here we have the flaming weapons. Which means that T2 has to retreat because, yeah, those flaming weapons are super powerful, and with the army that is consisting with from a lot of Turmas, he wouldn't be able to do all that much that he would like. So let's switch to the right side. This is basically waiting for the storm to happen. Yeah. Right now I'm kinda thinking that Temista with Magic maybe want actually to engage their opponents in battle, have them cast the flaming weapons, and then ceasefire them. I wouldn't be surprised at all. And we might be actually looking at some steal of the TC. You see this nicely placed scout here, and the TC is still not captured. And there is absolutely no line of sight, so it could be very easy steal of it. So let's see if that will happen. That's definitely a play to make here. So Magic with Temista deciding to take this slowly, and we see some yellow blob in Red's base. Well, that's pretty gutsy, but he had to make use of his flaming weapons so that it wasn't wasted altogether. And well, right now it will be his time to retreat, I'm afraid, as he doesn't really have any upgrades. You can see not really anything, and it already has the baseline, so he will be wrecking this army even if Alfheim draws some lucky mythical units here. So that's that. Right side, not much happening still, and here we have an ceasefire. Exactly the reason right now. Underworld passage. Ah, going for the DC here. Well, that was kinda soonish, I think. Gas ceasefire. It definitely could have won wars. Could have went wars for them. If somehow actually Alfheim used this opportunity. He had the units here, so yeah, he definitely could have, but he didn't. Which means that this third DC is gonna get stolen by Magic. And he has Underworld passage from this side to second one. Let's have a look. Ah, right in his base. So that's where his military buildings are, and he will be able to transport from the right to the left. But I think this is the deciding push. They want to switch the sides and surprise their opponents, which is a pretty good idea, although green is already here, so it might not work as well as they would have hoped. Anyway, fortified town center, so that's a pretty good spot. Pretty good spot, and birdies are making an appearance, which is always a problem for a Norse unit. Themistocles in pretty fast mythic through Hera. Is maybe Magic jumping as well? No, not yet. But he's fighting some battle here with Mal, and this market placement isn't meant for actually trade route. It's, I think, meant for some mythical upgrades. So let's check his TCs. Yeah. Here we have Hell. So he just built that market where he had the units, and that usually works for you when you are pressed for time. So this is a pretty much 2v2. But unfortunately, the armies are not at the correct spots, and Ivanov Grande actually surprised ReGen very nicely, killing the TC of T2 and actually stealing it for himself right now. So that's a damn good play without any counterplay whatsoever from ReGens right now. So they will have to hope that their army will be able to deal with all that they stand against in here. So Red will definitely erect those Phillies unless they run, which they do. And where is Themista's army? Well, killed. Killed here, and wow, second underworld passage right into the base of Passamal. DC is down, Villis are already here, and yes, we are killing the army through the lightning storm. So once that happens, this DC should be reasonably safe for the taking. Well, there's Jason here. Odysseus, I think those bots should be dead reasonably soon, especially when we have Manticores that are good against mythical units as well. Yep, another attempt to take the TC. Some Willies from Themista as well, so that will probably result in some fortress or whatnot. So yeah, we'll see. Okay, but BRT are definitely not giving up, and right now they are sending Nidhogg. Fortunately for them, there was still one boat left. So that was it. And T2 is actually joining in the fun, and it's full on 3 versus 1, but at the same time you can see that Green is really running rampage through T2's base, and pretty soon T2 is going to be gone from the game. Wow, that's really interesting strategy. So right now this is pretty much all in from the ReGens. They are sacrificing T2 altogether, and right now Alfheim is asking for GG, so it might be it. So even though T2 is pretty much dead, just left with one TC, but Ivanov Grande would be able to kill him. The middle here is pretty much resolved, and Passamal is more or less dead, and this strong mythical Zeus is just going to take care of everything here. Yeah, that's another TC dead. Themistocles taking 4th, and it's just about rather T2 holding as long as he can to let his teammates beat their opponents. So that's a bit of Nidhogg fun here, together with Raiden from the boars. And well, Green is doing well so far, but unfortunately for him, I don't think all that well. And T2 is moving all his army through a vortex in here, and I think it might just be enough. Those birdies are actually pretty great against the dragon. So yes, that's that. That will be the death of the dragon. You can see that those birdies are still not dying fast enough, and here we have flaming weapons. As Ivano Grande recognizes that he needs to win this battle, or wants to win this battle, and he will with the flaming weapons and might be able to kill some amount of Willies. So yeah, that might happen. So let's have a clip and have a look somewhere else on the map, where the two Zeuses 4 and 5 TCs are wreaking havoc in Yellow's base right now. They have already almost killed the base from Purple. Right now they are very interested in making the same happen with Yellow. On the right side of the map, let's just have a quick look, and yes, this is just trench warfare, not really interested anyone in going anywhere. And well, Magic is switching into the right side, trying to kill Belmel and Passamel altogether, while Temista is trying to take care of Yellow. Pretty good job, and at the bottom, well, the TC has been finished by Red, but it's been taken now again, as those boars are pretty strong, and well, you can see that the Atlanteans have a problem with all those. It's pretty curious that he's actually following the villagers right now. He should be just finishing the TC, it would be much more valuable, and Magic right now helping his teammate. Yeah, you can see that was total wreckage. All Harrisers just dead. And pretty good job. And all those piggies will be needed somewhere else right now, and not anymore, as BrT actually recognized that the game is beyond their power, and even though T2 was having not a nice game, the power of the double Zeus was really strong. So good job ReGen, but good job BrT as well. Yeah, you can see right now T2 asking how did Green get in here? He sneaked somewhere in here, out of line of sight, and yes, even through, you can see very nice forward base. Pretty decent play from him. Pretty decent play. So let's have a look at the post game then. Mistocles as the best. Well, he was the pocket, so of course. Of course. Nice wood and gold. Otherwise, civilian units, of course. Usual amount here. And ReGen Magic had the best military count, units killed, and buildings raised. And as for improvements, you can see that Ivano Grande, he was having a pretty fast mythic and pretty good attempts with his army, but without no upgrades, yeah, it's kinda hard to fight against upgraded units. ReGen Magic, Temista, T2, all had some upgrades, and it's hard to play with that. And those two guys just running away from everybody. Alright, GG.